Welcome to the Highly Sensitive and Strong podcast. I'm Daphne Lee, a former anxiety sufferer turned holistic anxiety coach, mindfulness teacher, mom, and guide for highly sensitive people. Anxiety was part of my life for as long as I can remember, and as a teenager, I was hospitalized for anxiety, panic disorder, and agoraphobia. Since then, I've learned to transform those challenges into strengths, and now I help people like you calm their nervous systems and live in a way that truly honors you. Each week, I'll share honest conversations, insights, and practical tools to help you heal anxiety in your body and mind so you can thrive as your highly sensitive and strong self. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. Hello, my friend. One of the most common things I experience as a highly sensitive person, and that I think you might recognize for yourself, is this. Your partner or family member comes home after a hard day. They're not even saying much, but within about 10 minutes or so, you start to notice that you feel completely different. Your shoulders might have become tense. Your mind is moving faster. And there's this low-level hum of anxiety that wasn't there before. And you haven't even asked them how their day went yet. If that sounds familiar, you're not imagining it. This is something I hear about a lot, and it's something I've personally navigated my whole life. It's the experience of picking up on someone's mood and almost instantly matching it. It can be a partner who's in a bad mood, a coworker who's stressed, your kid or a family member who's anxious, and before you've even had a chance to think about it, their emotional state starts showing up in your body too. Today, I want to talk about what's actually happening when that occurs, because once you understand it, it stops feeling so overwhelming and will maybe even feel more workable. A lot of highly sensitive people grow up being told they're too sensitive, too empathetic, too shy, or too emotional, or that they just need stronger boundaries. And while our boundaries really matter, that framing misses something important. It doesn't explain what's actually happening inside your nervous system when you walk into a room and immediately feel the emotional temperature shift. You might recognize this in yourself. Someone near you is anxious, and your body tightens before your brain has even caught up. Or someone's upset, and you feel it as tension in your chest or belly. Maybe someone's frustrated, and you're suddenly scanning for what you can do to help or fix the situation or just soften things for them, even if they didn't ask you to help. What's important to know is that this happens automatically, often before you've made any conscious choice about it. And for highly sensitive nervous systems, it can happen very quickly and very deeply. That's not a flaw. It's how you're wired, and there's a real reason for it. Part of what's happening involves something called mirror neurons. Your brain has a system that helps you recognize what other people are feeling through their expressions, their tone of voice, their body language. It's part of what makes empathy possible for you. So when your partner comes home and they're tense and quiet, your brain picks that up. Or if your coworker is stressed, your nervous system notices it. For highly sensitive people, this system tends to be especially responsive, which means the recognition happens faster and often lands more deeply in the body and in the nervous system. There's another piece to this called attunement. This is your nervous system's ability to sense what's happening in someone else's internal world. It's actually a beautiful thing. It's why the people in your life probably feel really seen, and understood by you. But when attunement happens without awareness, something subtle can start to shift. Instead of just noticing what the other person is feeling, it can start to become that you feel what the other person is feeling. And that's where it starts to get exhausting. It's really important to understand the difference between co regulation and emotional carrying. Co regulation is when two nervous systems support each other. This is where you sit with someone who's anxious, you listen, and your steady presence helps them settle a little. And you still feel like yourself. You're connected, but you're grounded. That's co regulation. And sensitive people are genuinely good at it. Emotional carrying is what happens when one nervous system starts holding more than it was meant to hold. So instead of just being with someone in their anxiety becomes your anxiety. Maybe your thoughts keep circling back to their situation hours later, and you feel some sense of responsibility for trying to fix how they feel. When this happens, your nervous system is working so much harder than genuine connection alone requires. And here's what I'd like you to know: most sensitive people were never taught the difference. So your system just keeps doing what it learned because this feels like love and connection, even when it's exhausting. Your nervous system isn't trying to overwhelm you, it's trying to stay safely connected. And I think that's such an important reframe. What matters most right now is beginning to understand what your nervous system has been doing for you. So, what actually helps when this type of carrying happens automatically? The first thing is just learning to notice earlier. Sometimes awareness alone begins to shift the experience for us. So start paying attention to what changes in your body when you're around someone who's in a certain mood. Does your breathing change? Do your shoulders tighten? Do you feel a sudden urge to fix something even before you know what's wrong? Noticing that something shifted before you're deep in it creates a little bit of space, and that space allows us the opportunity to change our response. Something I come back to again and again, both personally and with clients, is the simple internal question: is this mine? When you feel a shift in your body, quietly ask yourself, is this actually mine, or am I responding to what someone else is carrying right now? You don't need a perfect answer. Just asking the question helps your nervous system start to orient back to itself. And then something really simple you can do is to come back to your own body. Feel your feet on the floor, the weight of your body in your chair, the natural rising and falling of your breath. This is not to disconnect from the person in front of you, but to remember that you're still there. You're still yourself, and you can be fully present with the other person without losing yourself in the process. This is what it looks like when emotional awareness becomes emotional steadiness. It's not by creating walls or distance between us and the people around us, but it's by being more rooted in yourself. So, if you've spent years feeling like you absorb everything around you, I want you to know it makes sense that this has felt overwhelming or confusing at times. But what's actually happening isn't a mystery, and it doesn't have to be your permanent experience. Your nervous system is good at noticing emotional environments if you're a highly sensitive person. It's good at forming connections, and those are genuinely beautiful qualities. They just need a little more support around them when we're sensitive. And the work isn't to become less sensitive, it's to become more supported inside your sensitivity, to notice what's happening a little earlier, to stay connected without carrying everything, and to understand the difference between empathy and responsibility, because they're not the same thing. You can be very empathetic and not have to be responsible for other people's feelings. I hope that what you take away from today is that you're not just absorbing everything around you, your nervous system is responding to connection. And once you understand that, this whole experience might start to feel much more workable. Thank you so much for being here today. This is one of those things that once you see it, hopefully you can't unsee it. And I think that's a really good thing. If you'd like some support actually practicing this in your day to day life, especially if the emotional absorption has been feeling pretty automatic for a long time, I have a course called Anxiety Relief Training Your Nervous System for Safety that might be a really good next step. It's short, it's practical, and it's designed for highly sensitive people who already get a lot of this conceptually, but need their nervous system to actually catch up. I'll put a link in the description. And if this episode was helpful, please follow the podcast so you don't miss future conversations like this one. Take good care of yourself. You are sensitive. You are strong. And the way you show up for yourself is worth honoring.